So welcome to another episode of Paul's Asian Adventure. Hey, in this video, I'm going to make it somewhat different. I'm going to be talking in the background while running some AI generated videos and AI generated images, as you can see now. And that will help with the visual. And I'll talk about the next topic here, which will be courage. One of the things I've noticed here in the Philippines as a vlogger, as well as traveling the world, and working in many different places, is that there's a lack of courage. That drives many, and this will be the topic of today: courage. What exactly do I mean by this, and how does it pertain to the Philippines? Basically, I've noticed in life there are two types of people. Now, I know this is somewhat oversimplification. Of course, there are more than two types I mentioned in this video. However, for simplification and not to make this video too long, I have defined it as the following saying. Most people would rather be miserable and feel comfortable, in other words, safe, rather than to take a chance to be happy. By this, I mean somebody, for example, in the States who is living on a budget of $3,000 would rather stay there and feel secure in the known surroundings. He knows the culture, the shops, the food, the people. He might have family around him, so he feels safe and comfortable. But yet he still feels lonely and he is bored, wishing for a different life. His dating options are obviously probably very limited, and the choice of good women that have not been ran through by every Chad and Tyrone is extremely limited, if not non-existent. So his choice is being alone or dating the leftover hippos and entitled women in the West. Of course, besides dating, his options would also be limited due to limited funds, but also limited due to minimal amount of social interactions and other aspects of life in the West that can be rather depressing. With all the negatives associated with living in the West, you would think that person would be willing to take a chance of getting a better life somewhere else. However, you'd be surprised. As an example, I knew this guy back in the US who was on the verge of ending it all, if you know what I mean. He had many setbacks in life. That included the romantic part, which was for him basically the final straw that broke the proverbial camel's back. As a friend, of course, I stepped in the last minute and talked him out of it. Talked him down from doing anything drastic. I also let him know that I was moving to the Philippines due to a non-compete, which meant I could basically not work in my area of expertise for the next 18 months. He was excited about going to the Philippines with me, and his attitude to life made a 180-degree change. This was in late 2018. However, before moving to the Philippines, I was offered a job at roughly 70% of what I was making at my previous job. This job was in a different area of oil services. Anyway, I let my friend know that I might actually be staying in the US. After I told him this, his words to me were, "If you're not going, I will not be going either." That really surprised me, as his life was on a real downer in the US. Of course, I asked him why, and basically it boiled down to him being too scared to move alone. So in essence, he would rather be miserable and secure rather than take a chance in life. I spent hours trying to convince him to go, but he would not, even though he already met a girl online in the Philippines and the ticket was already paid for. Anyway, to make a long story short, I decided I would rather spend the next 18 months in the Philippines rather than take a pay cut of 30%. So he joined me and we headed to the Philippines, and the rest, as they say, is history. So if you're one of those guys that is sitting at home, scared to make the move, ask yourself, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Take a chance in life and you'll be surprised to where it leads. The enemy of progress in life is comfort. Don't let your comfort zone keep you in a state of petrified zombie, only following what society allows, what society tries to scare you from doing. All of us, including myself, have a tendency to relax in the comfort zone. While there's so much to explore, so much to experience, so much to live for outside this comfort zone. Don't be one of those guys that in their deathbed says, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. Go now. Start planning. Start looking at your finances. Think to yourself, how can I maximize savings? How can I minimize expenses? Maybe there's some type of online work I can do. And if there is, start it in the US and make a living on it in the US before coming here. So wherever you are in life, make a realistic plan on how to get out of the rut that you're in. If you have a plan, then well done. If you need help, you can contact me directly via the link in the description. Of course, there's a difference between courage and stupidity. Watching some of these vloggers, you have probably seen many horror stories of expats coming here and losing their shirts. And some even end up begging for money, and some end up having to go home, back to the US, back to Europe, going back to where they came from and starting over. Typically, this boils down to mental issues and pure and simple stupidity. All the information to succeed is online in videos and blogs. They all warn you what not to do when coming to the Philippines. This of course involves women, property, business, marriage, and other things that I will not go into this video as it would go on for way too long. A summary would be basically, don't rush into anything here in the Philippines. Don't make any financial commitment you can't afford to lose. Vet the women you date and take it slow. As they say, be slow to hire and fast to fire. With that, I think I'll wrap up. Remember everyone days are numbered. So make the most of your remaining days. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share button.